We are live, Dale.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Ask Junior today. I'm excited for everybody to hear today's show. We've had fun clowning around, and Daniel Suarez call in, so it's been a fun morning. This Wednesday's guest is Waddell Wilson, famed Hall of Fame engine builder. But we're doing some Ask Junior right now. I want to say hey to all the NASCAR fans out there. Now you can get the speed that you need on and off the track with Xfinity Mobile. It's the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. And with its nationwide coverage, you'll know that it's always going to come through in a clutch. Make the switch today, and you can save with Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity is a proud premier partner of NASCAR. I just read that they may be working on an extension to continue their partnership in the Xfinity Series, which would be extremely nice.
Be awesome.
It would. They've been great to us here at Dirty Mo Media and at the Dale Jr. Download, and we're thankful for that. So anyways, Andrew, you got some great questions today.
We've got some good ones today.
I'm
yes. This first question comes from Corey, and it's kind of a follow-up from last week. You know, someone asked, do the girls play any sports? Would you be a good, youth sports coach?
I think so.
Yeah?
Soccer.
You'd be a good soccer coach?
I went with I've been around a buddy of mine. He's got a couple girls, and he'll go to the games with his girls. And so I went with him a time or two, and that looks like a lot of fun. And I think going with my friend has helped me understand that, okay, you got to put a 5 or 6 year old out on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you put them in the yard and you're like, all right, kick the ball this way and that way, they do a great job, right? Kick it in the net, great. Okay, we've got it. We figured it out. Then you put them in the game, and it ends up being like just this pack of girls, and they're all just kind of kicking, and the ball's like just jiggling around like a pinball in a machine, and the mob just kind of moves around on this big field, right? And eventually it gets closer to one of the goals, and maybe it goes in, or maybe it doesn't. And it might move around. And it's just kind of jiggling around this old mob of girls, and it's just kick.
The pack follows the ball.
Everybody's legs are just going, trying to make contact with the ball. And that's the game.
So how would you coach that?
You don't.
You just let it.
I can do that. I can go stand on the sideline with the parents. I think I could do that.
Okay.
I could coach Little League soccer, or I don't know what they call it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Youth soccer.
Youth
I don't
soccer.
know if there's
youth
official
soccer, right?
Yeah. Would you do a lot of conditioning? A lot of running drills? No.
I mean, we would do something, but I mean, I wouldn't put too much behind it.
Team's got to be in shape though, man.
They're in shape. I mean, we were all in shape at 5 years old. Come on.
This next question this could be an interesting answer. What's the strangest place you've been recognized before?
I don't know. Strangest.
Almost reminds me of when that hot tub story you told last year in the download. Like places you didn't think you'd be having a conversation about NASCAR with people. Are there any that stick out?
No, not really. I mean, honestly, I'm sorry, man. There's nothing. Yeah, you put me on the spot.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, sometimes no's the best answer you got.
Well, I will say, I'm never in a strange place.
Yeah, so you're just not in strange places.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't think I'd get. I didn't
Dale, where are the weird places you like?
That's what I'm trying to think of. I'm like, I'm trying to put myself in a weird space that I would then have remembered being recognized in, and I can't.
But you're in pretty normal places, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waiting for your Instacart to show up.
I reckon. Yeah. Live a pretty normal life.
There you go.
I mean, I guess anytime you're not in the country, right, and you get recognized by someone who lives locally, you're reminded on like how big the sport can be, right? And so I know that's a boring ass answer, but those are probably the moments where you're like, dang, that's cool because, you know, when we're racing, it's the middle of the night here.
Yeah.
Right? You really got to put some effort in.
Yeah, people are dedicated.
Yeah, to watch the races. Or you're watching them delayed all the time to try to keep up with the sport. So I think that's it. When we go overseas or out of the country and somebody's like, yeah, man, I'm a big NASCAR fan, and not many people
Watch.
Yeah. He probably can't talk to NASCAR with his family or friends. Right.
Yeah.
But he's like so happy to meet somebody that's NASCAR or knows NASCAR that he can talk to.
Right.
I'll end up ticking off Amy because I want to stand there and talk to that person for a long time. Because I know
she's like, let's go.
I know that they got a lot they want to say about racing, right? Or what they like about it. And I'm like, well, I want to hear your point of view from your perspective.
Right.
Because how do you view the sport from over here?
Yes, and speaking of it being cool that people watch the sport, especially in other countries, John is watching this right now live from Australia.
I love that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what time is it?
That's my next goal is to take my wife and kids to Australia. I've told Amy, I'm going to take a lot of trips before then. That won't be, but I got my kids. My kids need to get a little bit older before we can go that far with them, I think. I know that Larson and them guys do it all the time to go race their dirt cars, but I've told Amy a million times how incredibly cool Australia is and how cool the people are there. I just love their approach to life and their viewpoint on things. It's just they're very interesting and cool. And so, yeah, that's glad he's tuned in. I'm looking forward to taking my family there to show them all about it.
That'd be really neat. This next question coming from the YouTube chat from Timothy, and I know you've been busy working around the house. Any house projects that have been going on? At least there was an unexpected one last week.
Yeah, we had some water. We had a water leak. I came home and there's water dripping out of the ceiling in an outdoor kitchen. So luckily, the water was outside. Right, not dripping down inside the house, but it's like outside, down by my outdoor kitchen. It's pouring out of the ceiling, and so a line busted that was going to the kitchen sink. And so my house was built in 2008, and all the elbows and T's in the water are made of copper by this, and and the material deteriorated quickly over 6 or 8 years, and so they're all breaking, right? We went through the whole house. We went through the whole house, tried to replace every one we could, and found 95% of them, but there's a couple still left. These were these were just coupling that put a line together. It wasn't a T or an elbow, and they were hidden in foam insulation because it was outdoor line. It needed to be insulated, and so we would have never seen them to be able to know they were there to replace them, right? But there's water coming out of this foam insulation, and I'm like, well, the pipe's busted somewhere in that, so I had to climb up in there with a straight razor, and cut the foam off of that line for about 10 feet, the hot and the cold, and replace both of them. The plumber came to replace them, but I found the spot where it was leaking so that we could get that done quickly.
You sprung into action.
I'm a hands-on man. No fear.
No fear. You got to just jump right in.
If you make it worse, somebody can fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be scared to screw it up.
Has there been a moment where you've made it worse?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell Amy, like, look, I can fix, out of all the things that break, let me try to fix it. 80% of the time, I will. 20% of the time, I'll make it worse. And we'll get the right person in to fix it.
It's a good ratio.
But I think that's a good ratio. Yeah.
Do you remember the last thing you're like, we need to call the guy now?
I don't. No.
No.
I mean, it's happened. But I don't remember the things that don't work out.
You don't dwell on the negatives. This next question is coming from Mark, and that's actually funny. We had this conversation in the preseason. They're asking about the Oreo car that has kind of like the Exalta paint scheme colors, like the red and yellow Oreo car, and was wondering if there's any interesting story, and I think there is.
Did we not tell that?
We didn't tell it on the show.
Yeah, so, these are silly. When I was a little kid, I had a bunch of Matchbox cars, and one of my favorites had that yellow to red fade. And I'd never, if you're someone who loves the design of a race car, you'll remember some of your favorite ones over time and over history. And that little diecast car, I was like, man, that's cool. When they started giving me more freedom on designing my own cars and stuff, I thought,
there it is right there.
Yeah. I thought, I'm going to run that design on a car. I'm going to get it in there somewhere, right? And they came to me and I said, so the Ritz box is sort of similar to that. Those are the Ritz box colors, right? And so, I threw this idea at them. We mocked it up. And I never expected them to approve it, the Oreo and Ritz people. But they did. They're like, oh, great. And I'm like, damn.
I can't believe I pulled that off.
Yeah. And so we took it to the racetrack, and, I think we won. That was one of our 3 in a row, 2002, 2003. And so I ended up running that again in the Exalta car.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like 2017, maybe?
I think, around that time.
2016?
17.
Yeah. But, so I was able to get it back out there.
And when we were talking about this before the season, just looking at this car, like, nothing about that screams Oreo.
I know it. Nope. I couldn't believe I ran that.
Freaking
I couldn't believe they were like, yes, Oreo. We like it. I'm like, damn.
Really?
Who doesn't love a good fade?
Yeah.
Right?
I love those colors, and I loved it on the 2017 car you ran. So
it's very cool.
It's fun to
see.
Yep. Yes. This is a fun one. I think I know your answer. We got time for one more. Bart in the YouTube chat wants to know if you would ever run a half marathon.
No,
not
a chance.
Not even if it was with Andrew?
I can't run 2 miles. I got to stop and walk a little bit.
Well, you can do it in 2 mile increments then. You can do it. Put your mind to it.
Is it really a half marathon if you're running it in 2 mile chunks?
It's about the completion, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
people walk half marathons. You can do it.
All right. Well, then I have ran a half marathon.
Hey,
run one actually. I ran a full marathon in 2017. I ran multiple.
Just with a lot of breaks in between.
In 2017, I'm pretty sure I ran several marathons. Now that we're.
Oh,
well, congratulations.
Hey, that truck race at Daytona was like a marathon, and they only ran it 2 miles at a time.
Hey, I'm not in peak physical condition these days. I rode my bike a bunch, especially that last year of racing in the Cup Series. I rode my bike 2,400 miles in 2017.
Dang,
and then
that's a lot.
And the next year, less and less and less until now, like I might get on it twice this year. I want to ride it more, but I'm lazy,
Well, we'll get you back.
Yeah. But I never loved running. Hated running. Yeah. And I get sore all over running.
Yeah.
Not
some of that lasts days.
Yeah, I don't want.
It's hard to shake.
But riding a bike, I don't have that problem, and feel like I'm. Yeah.
All right.
But I do need to get back on the bike.
We'll get you back. Get on that Zwift.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm set up. I got my work. I got my Zwift. Nobody cares about this. But yeah. I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, man, we're gonna jump up and run a mile," I could do it.
Okay.
Fast as hell.
What are you doing right now?
But I'd nearly die at the end of it.
Yeah, but you'd get it done.
But my dogged determination and willpower would prevail.
Nice.
And I would blister the mile, but I would want to almost nearly die.
Yes. All right. Well, you know what, folks? Tune in next week. Dale's going to run that mile live here on Ask Junior, and we're going to ask you questions during it.
Brought to you by Xfinity. He's going to do it as fast as Xfinity.
Yeah, you're going to run as fast as Xfinity 5G.
Yeah.
There you go. All All right, well, that's a good place for Ask Junior this week.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks to Xfinity for turning us on to some great service. I'm a customer and have been a customer now for about 4.5 years. It's been great. But we're promoting the Xfinity Mobile, so check that out. 5G service, millions of Wi-Fi hotspots everywhere. Thank you, Xfinity, proud premier partner of NASCAR. Thank y'all for tuning in here for Ask Junior this Tuesday, and hopefully y'all have a great week. Don't forget Waddell Wilson tomorrow. Tune in to everything else Dirty Mo Media this week's been entertaining. You want to check in on Denny's show especially. He said something rather funny, but y'all have a good one.
All right.